thought industry was produced somewhere, and our job is just to work in that industry, which has been thought in Oxford, which has been thought in America. It's a very simple idea. There is nothing really very new. It's just life as it is. When you have an idea, it must result into salsa. If it's not resulting into salsa, we don't listen to you. So this is what we are looking at, and this is what we are being helped with when we are being helped with equipping our labs. So our underpinning philosophy, as I say, is heritage. Look at what you have before you look what else you can get from elsewhere. So, we want to thank you so much, Unki, for contributing to the cornerstone of physical infrastructure to deliver Education 5.0. The teaching and research microscopes you are handing over today support one of the ministry's policy priorities of facilitating learning environment through provision of adequate infrastructure. No nation can develop without investment in its education and research infrastructure. We are delighted and accept this gesture as a ministry from Unki. Government alone cannot fund all the education, science and technology activities. It requires partnerships with the private sector. We will also be beneficiaries of innovations that come out of the academic institution. All what we are saying is that Vision 2030 is possible. It is possible when we have configured our team to deliver. And our team, we have already people. We have people, very intelligent people, who get frustrated because they don't have an outlet to put their ideas. All what we are trying to do is to put that outlet. It's nothing new, really. It's basically making things possible. It's creating a spirit of inclusivity. A spirit which does not say, me, Amon Murwira, I'm only the only professor in the most sense. If you are the only professor, what happened to others? All what we are trying to say is that we are putting a spirit of service, a spirit of being serious in what we do, a spirit in saying that things are possible. We have said there are two types of people in the world, the pessimist and the optimist. The pessimist, they sap your energy. They completely finish it. Because all what they say is, and so forth. So this kind of spirit is what we are trying to kill and replace it with the optimist, who is the second kind of person, who says it's possible to go to the moon. It's not madness to go to Mars. It's not madness to think that we can make water from the sky, basically based on the particulate matter that is there, and be able to do things. So we are embracing the spirit of possibility. We are embracing the spirit that it is possible. We are taking the destiny into our own hands. And this is not only a political statement. We should be seen acting. We should be seen changing the debate. Zimbabwe must change the debate, and change the debate to a debate of possibility, not of saying, what is the conclusion? No, most of the times, no, the conclusion must be, let's fill them up. So I think this is the country that we have, and this is the only one. I wish to urge all the students and staff to make good use of the modern facilities that industries provide. The country is counting on your contributions to turning this country into a middle-income economy by 2030. But you know what? When you are told, make the country reach middle-income economy, it's like you are told, jump 3 meters. In order to jump 3 meters, you have to have 3 meters plus X, where X is greater than 0. So, let us move Zimbabwe forward. Let us move Africa forward. Siyabonga, Tatenda, I thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for those wise words. But I think you've forgotten your lecture room now. You asked the question, but it was not answered. I will continue asking you, why are we poor? That has not been answered. I thought I was expecting an answer from his speech. Right, at this point, I want to invite the President of the Chamber of Mines to give his remarks. Mr. Anderson.
UMC. It's always difficult to speak after a professor. I will try my best. The Minister of Higher Education and Tertiary Education, Science and Technology Development, Honorable Emugira, the PEMSEC of the Minister of Mines and Mining Development, Mr. Oye Moyo, or his representative, Acting Vice Chancellor, Professor Paul Mafumo, the Pro Vice Chancellor, Research and Academic Affairs, Professor Petsai Mashiri, the Board Chairman of Unki Mines Limited, Mr. James Makosa, the General Manager for Unki Mine, Mr. Walter Nimasasi, Senior Investment Management here present, Deans of Faculties, the Director School of Earth and Mineral Sciences, Professor Mkuu Ichokum, and other directors here present, members of mining houses here present, university staff, members of civil society, members of media here present, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I feel greatly honored and I'm indeed humbled to stand before you to give my remarks at this very important occasion, which is a key milestone in the industry's corporate social investment program. I would like to congratulate Unki Mine for this invaluable gesture, which clearly demonstrates the industry's commitment to a broad-based economic development agenda. Unki Mines Private Limited is part of the greater Anglo-American corporation. And Anglo-American as a company has a long history of developing Zimbabwe in all facets of the economy. You can think of the mines, you can think of agriculture. Anglo was part and parcel of the development of the country for a very long time. And I'm happy that Unki has continued on that trajectory to make sure that they continue to contribute positively for the development of our beloved country. I'm happy to report that this donation reaffirms the industry's commitment to support the skills development, research and innovation in Zimbabwe. The MOU signed between the Chamber of Mines of Zimbabwe and the University of Zimbabwe, which resonated with the establishment of the School of Earth and Mineral Sciences, remains a fundamental framework that guides and facilitates support of the mining industry to the school with a view to resuscitating some of the programs and courses which had been suspended due to lack of equipment, teaching material, inadequate staff levels, among many other things. As the mining industry, we remain conscious to our role to promote the socio-economic development of Zimbabwe through a thriving and growing mining industry. Quality of skills, research and technology is critical to achieve this goal. It is our fervent hope that the school will continue to provide the mining industry with properly trained personnel and address the skills gap that the mining industry is currently facing. My appeal to my colleagues in the industry is to emulate what has been done by Unki. Your contribution is a dual solution and will go a long way in realizing the dream of the university as well as enhance economic linkages between the academic institutions and the mining industry. I wish the School of Earth and Mineral Sciences success, and we look forward to their products contributing quite significantly to the development of our beloved country as we move forward and as we move towards the 2030 vision as laid out by His Excellency the President Emerson Mnangagwa, which the Minister briefly touched on, that we want to be a middle-income economy by 2030. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, President. At this point, I want to invite the board chair of Unki Mines to give his remarks. It's not processing.
Honorable Minister of Higher Tertiary Education, Science and Technology Development, Honorable Professor Mogoya. Permanent Secretary, the Minister of Mines and Mining Development, Mr. Onismo Moyo, Acting Vice Chancellor of the University of Zimbabwe, Professor Makumo, Acting Director of School of Earth and Mineral Science, Professor Ukumbi. All government officials here present, the President of Chamber of Mines, Mr. Batmanando, Chief Executive of the Chamber of Mines, Isaac Kwesu, is here. Our General Manager of Unki Mines, Walt Hanemasasi. Unki colleagues that are here, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure there are other colleagues from the mining house as well. From Mossad, so I'd like to recognize you if you are here. This is really a day for Unki, and I'm here to support the efforts that Unki, our mine, is doing. And therefore, while I represent Anglo-American Corporation and Unki Mines, it is a great pleasure to be here and to stand here to be able to represent and present to you the equipment that we have donated towards the School of Earth and Mineral Science. The sourcing of the funding and equipment has been provided by the cooperation between Anglo-American Corporation and the Chairman's Fund locally, as well as the support from our parent company, which is Anglo-American Platinum in South Africa. The Chairman's Fund has been in existence for 55 years. And as you heard from Mr. Manando, the footprint of Anglo in Zimbabwe goes back some 90 years to date. You can't talk of development, you can't talk of mining without really looking at the name Anglo-American Corporation in Zimbabwe. However, our ethos and our philosophy in actually contributing to the society goes back to our founder, Sir Ernest Oppenheimer. What he said, look, this group will make profits, but it must make profits in a manner which should ensure that the community in which it operates benefit and benefit. I think that's a very important ethos in terms of what Anglo has done to date. Anglo has been part of Zimbabwe for close to 90 years. Through that period, we have been a pillar of economic activity and development. The company's rich tradition lives on its history. We believe that it is important to actually develop and uplift the lives of people. Anglo has changed its view or its presence or its footprint in Zimbabwe. It has actually disposed something like 53% of its economic value and disposed those businesses to local Zimbabweans well back into the early 2010, 2013 to empower Zimbabweans. We're in the best minerals, the Geology Corporation, the Zimbabwe Alloys that you know, clay products, border timbers, Hippo Valley, you can name it, the list goes on. The process for disposing that business have been invested in Zimbabwe and invested to actually develop and expand Unki mines. But we were in the forefront of what we were calling then black advancement. And none of those processes ever left the country or the shores of this country. We put in the Reserve Bank, but you know what happens when you put money in the Reserve Bank? Our focus today is actually in the platinum group of metals, which is Unki. That's our flagship, and that's our presence, which is actually in the middle reach, in the middle dike in Shurubi district. Today we are presenting, as been indicated by the minister, equipment for the students to use for research. This contribution makes something like $300,000 all in all, the stuff that we have actually donated to the School of Earth. And that is made up of 30 Microscope, which is for student microscopes, 2 Stanley 548 stereo microscopes, and 1 Axioscope research microscope. We've been to see the equipment which has been in the laboratory out there. We hand over this equipment today in full cognizance of the fact that the country feels and suffers from a number of economic challenges. And therefore, it becomes actually very important that the mineral science, the Earth and Mineral Science Department plays a very important role as part of the University of Zimbabwe. Since its inception in 1987, we are very proud to put that Anglo-American Scholarship Scheme, administered by the Chairman's Fund, has provided over 300 scholarships to students at various institutions at higher learning. As of 2010, we have a total of 25 students who are sponsored annually under these scholarships at a combined cost of $100,000 per annum. 9 of them are being awarded to students at the University of Zimbabwe studying in the fields of geology, mining, metallurgy, electrical engineering, and that's demonstrative of the desire to uplift the technical science. But that's not restricted to that, as you will see there. In addition, we have during this period sponsored 13 students under the Presidential Scholarship Scheme to tertiary institutions within South Africa. And this at the cost of 1.5 million rands, and that's what we do annually. Since 1968, Anglo has been sponsoring the University of Zimbabwe the Best Medical Student Award. The award is presented annually to a student with the best final year's results at the Faculty of Medicine. It is our bid to support academic excellence in the field of medicine. Over the past 10 years, Anglo has a total social investment spent which has in the region of $20 million. And of that $20 million, $5 million has actually gone into education. And we have supported structures throughout the country, not limited to the Midlands where our headgear is, but to schools right across the breadth of Zimbabwe, particularly refurbishing schools, classrooms, and refurbishing schools that we believe is no one else could have actually done in that part of the world. Our investment in education is in an appreciation of the need of young people as being considered to be the custodians of the future. We believe that if we invest in our youngsters, if we invest in our children with quality education, then we are building the true and proper Zimbabwe. The professor said education itself, without actually translating it into action, is actually of no value. We are contributing to that. So the instruments that we've given you today, we hope students will maximize and benefit from the use of that equipment. But more importantly, perhaps as a caveat, we would like you to look after that equipment so that the people who come after you can also maximally benefit from that. And that is the obligation that I would like to lay with you. As I said, these are a few comments as chairman, and Walter will give you the greater detail. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Makosa. At this point, I would want to call Mr. Nemasasi to give his remarks.
Normally when you go to engineering school, you don't get very well school with protocol, so if I make mistakes, you have to forgive me. A lot of the salutations have been done, but I want to start to mention a few names. Minister, Professor Mobina, thank you for coming. Professor Mafumo, Professor Chinas, Professor Chokumbu, is the name we've been talking to. Mr. Moyo, from the Ministry of Mines. Mr. Mandando, in the chamber, the person, our chief executive, industrial colleagues, staff, students, and friends, good afternoon. Most of the things here have been said. I'll try and go back to where I am, where I started, which is the school that we are trying to put up. And so I stand here privileged to share with you my insights in the mining industry. and ours for stepping up to the plate and reviewing this nation. As Unki, we face various challenges on a daily basis. Although these challenges may not be specific to us, I think they represent the same dilemma that everybody has got. Limited resources, limitless aspirations from the shareholders, and limitless expectations from the government and other stakeholders. So we always have to do more and more with less and less. I think all of us find us in that situation. So in these difficult times, and with the aspirations that we have when we are creating university, we will have to be innovative if we are going to get to where we are. I think Professor used the word we have to jump 3 meters, which we know is difficult. We may not know how we'll get there, but that's the aspiration. I thought I would share with you some, what I call a few wicked problems in the mining industry. And I'll stay out of platinum because many people say I'm from the platinum space. You know, we're a big exporter of ferrochrome for many years. And those who are miners, we know that the ferrochrome operations in this country basically take a project which we call a competent product, not what we call a life product, not a fine product. Work has been done since the 60s to try and find technology to smelt the fine product. And we have never achieved it over the past 40 years. That is work that the IMR used to do a lot, but we have not yet found solutions. And yet, those ones who come in that are doing their end, they will tell you that the competent product is now coming to the end of this one. So the solution is now internal. I'll stay with the chrome business. Most of the mining of chrome was done around Shurubu, which is again underground mining that Shurubu is almost closed. Much of what is based on the dike, which is very narrow sea. And those from the Ministry of Mines will remember that between 1989 and 1994, there was a great venture between Zimbabwe Alloys, Union Carbon, and the Ministry of Mines to mechanize the mining of that mining. That project was stopped in 1994. The solution was not found 25 years later. We still don't know the solution. The IMR, talked about it, did a lot of work on the mining implementation of nickel material. Because the next stage of nickel mining is coming after the years on the got reports and work was going to start industrializing that part of it. Those reports are being the IMR and nothing ever happened there. Madagascar is making big business with that. I think if you read the history up at all, you will understand what I mean. So the solutions required for the mining industry, we know what the problem is. Maybe our generation of the people who have been there failed to find solutions. But for the students who we saw in the lab who are coming now, those are the problems that they have to face. They have to be aware of. We start working on now. If